Hello everyone, how are you doing today? I'm Margaret Marie and welcome to my channel. Now what I'm going to talk about in this video is shaving your face, and I'm also going to be discussing dermaplaning as well. Now there are many reasons why women may be tempted to want to shave their face. I would say the first one would be because tweezing is extremely painful. There's also other reasons involved as well, such as a lot of women want to get rid of the peach fuzz that's on their face so their makeup will lay down nicer and not look so cakey. There could also be medical issues like polycystic ovary syndrome, which causes hirsutism. Hirsutism is a condition in women that causes an excess growth of dark or coarse hair. And the cause of this is having too many male hormones, primarily testosterone and androgen. No matter what the reasons are that you may be thinking of shaving or you already do shaving, I have some very serious reasons why you should rethink that and consider something else. Now, I have other ways of removing hair we're going to talk about, but first I want to talk about shaving. So there's all kinds of razors. You can use a regular face razor, or you can use like one of those flawless finishing touches razors that basically do the same thing that a razor does. Irregardless, it's all the same. Anytime you're putting a blade to your face and you're scraping, that is shaving. And even the electric ones, the battery operated ones, same. So first of all, now you may think I'm going to say, well, if you shave your face, it makes it grow in faster or it makes it grow in thicker or coarser. No, that is absolutely not true. Hair grows about a ½ an inch a month. Shaving does not change the number of hair follicles that you have. But let me tell you what it does do. An unshaved hair, as it's growing in, has a tip that is soft and tapered. When you shave off the soft tip, so it feels coarser. And of course, where you shave it down, that is the thickest part of the hair shaft. So when it grows in, it is going to look thicker and it is going to look like it's actually growing a little faster. But that's just the half of it. Now, what I want you to see is what a 5 o'clock shadow on a woman looks like. This is what a 5 o'clock shadow looks like. It isn't that it grew in any faster. It isn't that it grew in any thicker. It's that because what you're seeing, that little bit of hair that's peeking out right now, is a thicker, coarser edge. The end is coarse, and that's the problem right there. So that's what you see when it grows out, as opposed to the very tip of a very thin hair shaft in. Let's talk about what it does to a woman's skin. Now, men and women age differently. A man's skin on his face is up to 25% thicker than a woman's. And men, they produce more sebum. They have more oil production. So their faces produce more oil, and the oil is what moisturizes us. They have thicker skin. They can go ahead and take that razor and they can shave off the layers of skin on their face. It's not going to do the damage to a man's face that it does to a woman's face. The more oil that a man produces in his face, the more sebum, it keeps their skin more plumped up and more youthful looking. And men also have a higher density of collagen, and that's why women age a little faster than men. All right, let's talk about the actual act of shaving itself. Shaving is inflammatory, which means it causes sensitivity. And what happens is as you keep shaving, it starts to make the skin look more papery and more thin. On a man, yes, that's the perfect way for a man to exfoliate his skin. That's just great. But if you're using scrubs, if you're using a washcloth, if you're using other things to exfoliate your face, shaving your face on top of that, that's just too much exfoliation. And then add a 5 o'clock shadow to the mix and wow. The next thing I want to discuss is dermaplaning. Now, dermaplaning is similar to shaving. Not only does it remove the soft vellus hair, which is the peach fuzz on your face, but it also removes about 3 layers of dead skin cells with a very carefully angled surgical blade. Now, dermaplaning should always be performed by an estheticianist. Dermaplaning costs between, I don't think you can get it for under $75 and up. Let's talk about the possible side effects of dermaplaning. The first thing is whiteheads, because what you're doing, not only when you're removing 3 layers of dead skin cells off of your face, well, basically you're scraping them off of your face, you're also removing your moisture barrier. Now, when you remove your moisture barrier, your skin starts overproducing sebum, and so you're going to have whiteheads, and you probably could also result in breakouts as well. Some of the other risks involved in dermaplaning would be infection, scarring, and patchy skin pigment. Dermaplaning lasts about 3 weeks, but you have to be really careful because sun exposure can actually reverse the effects. To me, that is just not worth it. That is not a chance that I'm willing to take, and it's just not really particularly good for your skin. Now I want to discuss waxing. Now, there's something you probably don't know about waxing. Every time you wax, what's happening is the skin cells in the area that you're being waxed, you're actually destroying them. You're destroying the skin cells in the area that you're waxing. Okay, so next let's talk about tweezing. Now, tweezing is great for small areas. I like to tweeze, of course, under my eyebrows, and sometimes occasionally a hair or two that might pop up on my face. But when you're trying to get a huge area of your face done in your peach fuzz, sitting there and tweezing for 4 or 5 hours just isn't going to cut it. Okay, so what do you use for all the areas of the face? Well, that's where the epilator comes in. And this is what I use. And this is Emojor. I've had this for like 15 years. I don't even remember what I paid for it. I think it was about $60 or something like that. I'm not really sure. It's quite a long time ago. But this is what I've been using for 15 years. And it's battery operated. And what this does, it basically, an epilator rips the hair out of your face, but it doesn't destroy the skin cells in the process like waxing does. Now, it is painful the first couple times you do it. So is tweezing. But if you notice, if you regularly tweeze, the more you do it, the less it hurts. I can tweeze just about every area of my face now without any pain hardly at all. And this is less painful than waxing because you're only ripping out the hairs. You're not ripping out the skin as well. For me, this is just the best way to go about it. I can remove all the peach fuzz on my face. It gets some of the hairs under here. Most of the time I have to finish off with a tweezer, but that's okay. It gets rid of the mustache hairs all through here. I don't use it under here and anywhere around my eye area. I just stick with the tweezers for that. It's great for sideburn. That's how I get my makeup to lay down and look nice and smooth, is because I've gotten rid of all of the peach fuzz first. The thing I really like about epilators is because they won't cut you, they won't nick you, they last way longer than any razor, and no razor burn. I don't recommend using any other kind of epilator except the ones that you buy specifically for your face. And the reason that I recommend only using a facial epilator is because, of course, it's more gentler to your face. Okay, so before you start using your epilator, the first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to exfoliate your face very gently. Now, what happens when you exfoliate before you use an epilator? It'll make the hair stand up, which ensures every single hair will get pulled out and not left behind or skipped. All right, now I'm going to give you a demonstration of how to use it. Just taking it like this, holding your skin and coming down and getting all the hair. The reason you hold it at a 90-degree angle is because that ensures a more thorough hair removal. You won't be missing hairs. And then do it on the other side of your face. You're going to do like right here. Hold this like so. You don't have to hold too much, but just kind of make sure, and then just go along and pick out all the hairs of your face. Okay, and then over here, and then under here, or everywhere else. But like I said, I stay out of the eye area altogether. You can do in between your eyes if you want, but I don't have a whole lot of hair there, so usually just using the tweezers will get that. But if you have a hair there, just make sure you don't go off to the side or anything like that. And that's another reason I don't recommend shaving, especially if you try to shave your eyebrows, because it is so hard to get that angle under here. And more often than not, you can end up shaving off the tip of your eyebrow, which I have done before. So I'm coming from a place of experience when I talk about this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a few epilators that you might want to try, from the priciest one down to the most affordable one, so you've got an idea of what to look for and maybe what you might want to buy. The last hair removal method that I want to talk a little bit about is depilatory creams. Depilatory creams use a chemical that breaks down the proteins in your hairs, and that makes them to where they're easily washed away. But I totally recommend doing a patch test first because they can be very irritating to your skin. Depilatory creams last about a week or so. Okay, so let's talk about what the other hair removals, how long they will keep the hair at bay for. Shaving, of course, we know what, a couple days, and then you saw what happens as it grows back. A depilatory cream lasts, like I told you just now, about a week or so, and then you'll start seeing hair growth. Tweezing lasts for about 3 weeks. Epilating lasts for about 3 weeks as well. Waxing, you're going to get about 3 weeks, maybe a little bit longer with the waxing. You're also ripping out skin along with the hair that you're waxing. In my opinion, tweezing the smaller areas of your face and using an epilator for the soft fuzz on the rest of your face is the way to go. It's the least damaging, it'll last the longest, and you'll have the best looking hair-free face ever. Alright, so that is the end of the video, and I thank you so much for watching. And before you think about shaving your face or maybe getting some dermaplaning, I hope you watch this video first, and that way you can make a little better of an informed decision. And as always, you enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you guys in the next video. And until then, take care. Bye.